Oh no. Oh no. Give me a minute. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh no. Thank you. Oh, I just did a whole pre-flight of this, and looks like I got to do it again. Oh, this is just hilarious. Okay. Uh, that's hilarious. Guess I'll be doing some more editing. uh, wow. Yeah, where do I want to go? Yeah, let me. Trying to think what I want to do right now. I think I'm going to start at the beginning. Okay, pre-flight. Let me make sure I got. Yeah. Since I'm actually trying to show this off, I nearly need to get back in the cockpit. We'll do this, so. Once again, I might get pretty good at it after a bit here. Alrighty, let me get lined up in the, let me get lined up in here. Okay. Oh, this is just crazy. Okay. Okay, now that it appears like I am, yeah, hey, I'm actually streaming. That is cool. Okay, so, I want to get myself lined up in the cockpit. One more. So this will be take 3. Basically, I'm running X-Plane 11.50 Beta 9. And what I'm trying desperately to show off is the beta of the Reality Expansion Pack VR walk around. And so this is this will be the third time I'm trying to pull this off. So basically, this is I was an alpha tester, and so now I am. He released it to beta, so now we can do that. So now pretty much everybody can. So my goal here is to make a stream, and when I'm all done with it, and I'll have to edit this quite a bit. Then I'm going to move it and put it over on YouTube, and so that it'll be kind of like a tutorial on how we do this. So very first thing, I'm going to first I'm going to do this. Go to plugins, Reality Expansion Pack, and then what I want to do is make sure I got, let me down here, toggle elements, and then I'm gonna have to do it again to make sure I've got. I'm trying to get the plane to cold and dark. So toggle static elements. So they're all. So all the static elements are on. So advanced menu, plugins, Reality Expansion Pack. So we're gonna toggle walk around mode. There we go. Okay. So basically, this is kind of like a checklist for you to carry around with you while you're doing all the checks. So we're just gonna quickly go through. So the pilot operating handbook, parking brake set, avionics off, ignition switch off, master switch on. Says check fuel quantity. Fuel quantity is a little bit low. I wouldn't want to go flying with this low, but I'm just doing a walk around, so we're good. Flaps pull down. Flaps are down. And so now that that's done, we can turn the master switch off. We click on next. originally when I was doing the alpha testing, when I would click on these buttons, the VR menu or keyboard would show up, and Claudio fixed that, and so we're good to go. So fuel on-off valve, guy down here. Fuel selector valve, guy here. Static here. Trim controls, they are on neutral. So I click on next. So baggage door. So now I have to get, whoops. I have something napped on my yoke. It basically changes my view, and I've got to get rid of that. So, so basically, when you're going to do a walk around, you basically move your touch controller up to the top and highlight this bar up here. I'll pull it down a little bit. So when it's highlighted, then you grab it with the trigger so that it goes with you. So I'm gonna have to open up the door and teleport out. So now that I'm outside, get over close to the baggage door. And before I do that, all these blue circles, these are hotspots. So basically, if you look at them, you see the small circle is pretty close to the bigger circle, and that's because that's a sitting hotspot. So a standing hotspot, this here would normally be on the ground, and this here would be up at whatever your height is, whatever your standing height is. That would be where your head is. So I'm going over to the baggage door. So I'll go over here. So baggage door absolutely is closed. So we click on next, and I'm going to the elevator. So we go back here. We're looking for maybe that one. Oh yeah, that one looks good. So I'm gonna put this like right about here. So when I click on this, you can hear it go up to the extreme. And the same way when it falls back down, you can hear it. So we'll click on next. Now we're gonna go to the rudder. And I'm actually too close, so I'm gonna have to back up a little bit here. Try to get myself positioned a little bit better. Try that one. Yeah, that's pretty good. So now we're gonna click on the rudder. Same way. I'm gonna try to put this over here. So you can hear it go back and forth. So when I let go of it, then it stops. So we click on next. Next. And then we're gonna toggle the tie down. So click on it, tie down's toggling. So next, now we're going to go to the emergency locator antenna. Didn't want to be inside the horizontal stabilizer, and we're going to go right here. So absolutely, it's there, and so we're going to click on next again, and we're going to go to flaps. Actually, I'm pretty good right here. I think I'm just going to turn this around like this. And so I'm going to click on flaps, so you can hear them. And with a flap, when you're checking it in real life, when you grab a hold of a flap, and that's what you do in real life, you're going to put the flap down. So it just makes it easier to grab a hold of, and that's all you're trying to do. You're just pushing up against it, and you just want a little bit of movement. If you grab a hold of that flap and it moves more than half an inch, thanks for the follow. And then if it moves more than that, there's something wrong with it, and you really probably shouldn't be flying that airplane. And so that's basically what we're trying to emulate with this VR walk around, is basically trying to emulate that. So I'm going to click on next again, and now we're going to check on the aileron. So I'm going to see if I can find me a better hotspot. I don't know if there is one. Let me get back around here. Yeah, there's one. That's way better. So I'm going to put that right there where I can actually click on it and actually watch the aileron. So, come on. I was like, why aren't you moving? So in the same way, you can hear it go up and down. So sometimes when you leave it on too long, it will kind of like latch on. So you have to click on it again. So I'm trying to just move it to neutral. but it's not happy with me. That's about neutral. That's good. So we click on next again, and now we're going to toggle the tie down. Tie down's gone. Click on next again, and now we're going to go check on the fuel. So we'll go over here in front of the airplane, and these high ones, there's one over here, and then there's one over here. These are for the fuel. So sure enough, and when you're doing a real pre-flight, you would basically disconnect, open this up, and then there's like a tube. It's hollow. You put it down in the fuel and put your finger over the end of it. Then you pull it back out, and it's graduated into how many gallons. So that's basically, in real life, that's how you check for fuel. So how we have to simulate it is explain those, like how much fuel's in each one of these tanks. And it also rep knows the quality of the fuel. So here it says water contamination none, and you see the color is light blue. That's what it should look like. In real life, it's light blue. It's different. It's different than what you put in your car, and that's why it has a dye in it, so that you know you didn't put car gas in this airplane. You put aviation gas in it, because car gas will not run well at all. It will probably wreck the engine. And so it says, so we know the quantity. Everything looks good. So we'll click on next. So now I got to go down to the tire. So I'm going to find the hot spot. Oh, there it is. So I'm right here at the tire. You can see the shocks are on. So it says current status, tire status. It says the tire is good. So if I click on this, I should get rid of the shocks. Oh, cool. So click on this. Now we got to go to the oil. Hello. So the oil check guy is right here. So right here, when you open up this little cover here, when you pull that up, there's a dipstick right there where you can pull it up and you can look. So what we do in the simulator is basically the same way as explain, rep. They know what it is. So it's about 7 7/8 quarts in the airplane, and the color is amber, which is good. If it was really dark amber or black, that would be bad. So it looks like it's good. So we'll click on next, and now we're going to go to the front of the airplane. There's two hotspots here. The first one is the one I'm going to use. It is the closest one to the airplane. The one further back is for towing. So I'm right in front of the airplane, and so basically you're looking at the prop, and when you do this for real, basically you're basically running your hand up and down the leading edge of this propeller, because the leading edge is where, if there's a problem, that's where it's going to be. Is it will hit something. If it hits something, the trailing edge isn't going to get hit. The leading edge will. And if there's a mark in it, crack in it, anything like that, that plane doesn't fly. So that's basically what you're looking for. Is you're looking for the prop to be in a fairly good condition. So certainly no cracks. I not even a nick in it would be something I would want to fly. So now that we're here, we'll toggle the cover. And cover is toggled. Then we will go ahead and so we're looking at the nose wheel. It says the status is good, and we'll click on next. And now we're going to go over, and we're going to so same way. This is where you check the gas. Color is good. Water contamination none, and so everything looks good here. So now we're going to go to the pitot cover, and I'm going to have to get down and around. Back. So I'm right at the pitot cover, and so basically we'll toggle it off. So it's toggled off. Click on next. Okay. So we're gonna toggle off the tie down. Tie down's toggled up. Click on next. And now we're gonna go back and we're gonna check on the check the aileron. So over here. So click on the aileron. Okay. Then we're gonna check on the flaps. I'll move this over here. That looks good. So we got to get down by the chalk. So right there. So I'm right here. You can put that right there. Actually, over a little bit. So I can go ahead and toggle chocks. They're gone. And so now, gotta go find my checklist. There it is. So that basically completes the pre-flight, and so I will click on finish, and so now I'm going to go back in the airplane, and so I'm going to open up the walk around again, but we'll pick something different this time. Actually, yeah, let me, I'll go ahead and I'll pick the walk around again, except I'm going to click on light check. So now we're going to check the lights. So I'm inside here, and if I click on toggle lights, you can hear it turn on. So the master switch turned on and all the lights turned on. So now we go outside and we will go ahead and see and actually verify that they are actually okay. So I'm gonna click on next. So it says I'm supposed to, the first place that they want me to be is in the back. So if we look up here, we can see the beacon, and we can see the white light in the back of the airplane. So now we're going to go over, see if I can, nope, missed. So we can see the strobe light is on and the green light is on. So that's good. So now we're going to go over and we're going to check the landing and the taxi lights. Right there. It's really hard to see at night, but those lights are on. I mean, it's really hard to see in the daytime, but those lights are on. So we click on next. And we have to go over to the left wing over here. And you can actually hear the strobes. You can hear them clicking in your in the headset here. So we click on next. And so now I can click on toggle lights. And so when I toggle the lights, they go off. Alrighty, so I click on finish. Now, so the next thing I'm going to do, plugins. And I'm going to go into tow mode. So when you're in tow mode, you have to, it says you must disable the brakes before you are able to tow the aircraft. Right now I have the emergency brake on. So I have to release it. And now it says use the pitch and roll of the joystick to move the airplane around. I have a yoke, and that's how I'm going to move it around. So I'm going to go outside the airplane, I'm going to go to the front of the airplane. All I got to do is make sure if I can find it. Okay, so I'm going to pick the back hotspot. Well, that's what I had planned on doing. There we go. I guess we're okay. So, so when I'm in the tow mode, and actually I'm going to try to do this a little bit better. I'm at like an angle from where, there we go. Well, that got worse. My airplane go. Hilarious. Around. I'm trying to get like lined up right straight in front of the airplane. Close enough. Alrighty. So so basically you can move the wheel. So in other words, you can turn the airplane, and I'm using a flight yoke to turn the airplane. So as I turn the yoke left and right, the wheel does too. If I push the yoke in, the plane will back up. If I pull the yoke back, the plane will come back. And I don't know how well it's being saved on the stream, but you can hear the tires on the asphalt. You can hear them. In the same way, the longer you leave the yoke in or joystick in, the faster it gets. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull it out a little bit here. And then I am going to attempt to do and go at a kind of a slow rate and try to do a 360 here. It's kind of my goal. Just trying to do it at a reasonably slow rate here. Just kind of showing that you can pretty much put this airplane wherever you want. So, okay. So I gotta get it a little bit more. There, that looks about right. So I should be able to just push it straight back. So if I go in really hard, it's gonna speed up pretty good. Now if I pull back on the yoke, then it acts like a braking action. I'm going to pull back on the yoke all the way. So it's going to pick up speed pretty good. Release the yoke. You can see it slows down. If I shove in on the yoke, it'll stop. And so I'll put it back. So that is tow mode. So I'm going to basically go back and get in the get back in the airplane, and I'm going to put the parking brake on, and then I will disable. Yep. And disable tow mode. And then the last thing I'm going to go over is post-flight. So plugins, rep, walk around mode, post-flight. So, back outside. So where does it say I got to be first? Okay, we got to be at the pitot tubes. Whoops. Well, that really wasn't what I wanted to do. Let's see if I can. Trying to see my checklist. And that's the thing. If you don't grab onto your checklist, it may be at an angle. that when you're trying to find it, you can't see it. So so I will go ahead and that's a good example. So I go to toggle walk around mode, and because it's a toggle, when I do it now, it's absolutely going to be hidden. So if I do it again, rip, toggle walk around mode, then it'll be here. So it absolutely is on so it's right where I was before. So I'm gonna go ahead and there. So I'm going to so I click on here, so I'm gonna toggle the pitot tube. So now I put it on, so I'm gonna click on next. And so now it says we want to put the okay. I'm just trying to make sure that got it. Okay, so we got to go to the back to where the tie downs are. So right about here should be good. Yeah, that'll be good. So we're gonna toggle the tie down. So tie down's down. Where are we going next? Going to the wing tie down. Oh, we'll go, I think there. Yeah, that should be good. So we're gonna toggle the wing tie down. That's good. And so now we got to do chocks. So there. So now we can see that, and I can toggle the chocks. Okay. Now we're gonna go to the front of the airplane, and we're gonna toggle the covers on. Covers are on. Now we're gonna go to do the left wing tie down. I can actually do it here. So if I click on that, now we got to get to the there we go. So we're going the same way. We're going to put the chocks on. Okay, and over here it says finish. So basically we are done with the post flight. So other than I don't have the door closed. If I click on finish, then that goes away. I thought that I could close this door from outside, but for some reason, oh, there it is. How did I do that? Huh. That's crazy. Huh. It did it like one time. That's nuts. I thought I had sweeped it like this, but it doesn't seem to work that way. Let me. Oops. That's kind of weird. Let me just get in the cockpit, and can absolutely do it like this, but that's kind of not what I really wanted to do. So okay. So this was an interesting stream. So I am so once again I will after I wait the appropriate amount of time, I'm going to put this stream after I do some pretty serious video editing. I'm going to put this on YouTube as a tutorial on the new reality expansion pack, the beta of the VR walk-around. So it's a VR walk-around, a pre-flight, a light check, a post-flight, and also a light check that you all can do in VR. And once again, I want to reiterate highly that for this to work, plugins, reality expansion pack, settings. This is important. This check mark must be checked. If you don't have this check mark checked, it will be an interesting experience that you probably won't want to do again. So make sure that before you try this, that you check this. And other than that, it's been a bit of it's been a fun stream, and I hadn't planned on doing any flying. The weather was good enough. I probably could have, but I really wanted to focus my energy on basically showing off the features, and I kind of thought I could pull this off in like one stream. It took me 2.5 streams, maybe 3.5, to actually get it right. But we're all good to go now, and I'll go ahead and I'll end my stream. And like I said, this will show up on YouTube in a day or so. So after some serious editing, you all have a great day. I know I'm having like so much fun in VR, and the more tools that I get to, I'm going to show. Yes. No, I can't. I will at a later date. I will show some other tools that I have and that now are in VR, and almost all the tools that I have now in VR also are in my Linux, so that I can actually use almost all the tools that I have now in Windows. I can use in Linux. A couple of them I can't, but most of them I can. So, without further ado, hey, have a great day. See you next stream. Bye-bye.